Now on Denver 7 News, sizzling September heat. Our Denver 7 weather team is tracking just how long the high temps will last.
1 in 4 rural hospitals is at risk of closing. It's already been happening to dozens of others nationwide. The unique way one group has found to reopen them and the impact it's having. And billions of dollars is supposed to be coming to expand high-speed internet nationwide, but one man didn't want to wait. How he brought internet to his town and his lesson for others.
And helping Colorado food banks meet a growing demand. Hear about the new proposal to expand services in one high country town. We start with a live look outside on this weather action day as a late blast of summer heat hits the Front Range. Let's get right over to Denver 7's Katie LaSalle. Katie, we could see even more record-breaking temperatures this week.
Micah, it has been a scorcher for Tuesday, and we broke the record out at DIA of the highest temperature of this day at 98 degrees. Triple digits for Collins, Greeley, out across the Eastern Plain, Ray at 104 this afternoon with 80s and even some low 90s into the mountains. The record was 97. That was set back in 2020, and typically this time in early September, we average at 83 degrees in Denver. We will see well above normal conditions and the potential for more record-breaking heat for both tomorrow and Thursday, with a heat advisory set to take effect at 10 a.m., lasting until at least 6, including the Denver metro area, north from Fort Collins up to the border. So more record-breaking heat on the way the next couple of days, but we do have some relief in sight. Friday into the weekend, our next cold front will drop our temperatures below seasonal normals, it looks like. For this evening, it's going to be mostly clear skies, still hazy, 80 degrees by 10 o'clock, with overnight lows at least dropping down to the 50s and 60s. We'll talk more about that next front and just how hot we're expecting it to be the next couple of days, Micah, coming up.
All right, looking forward to it, Katie. DPS is releasing some students early this week because of the heat and because some of its schools don't have air conditioning. McAuliffe International will let students out early today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Denison Montessori and Godsman Elementary students are getting early releases just today, and Skinner Middle School students get to leave class earlier than usual tomorrow. 48 DPS schools currently don't have air conditioning. That's down slightly from 2 years ago when 55 schools didn't have AC. That was the same year voters approved a nearly $800 million bond for school-related projects, including the installation of air conditioning. As this hot weather drags on, Xcel Energy is facing backlash after it locked thousands of Coloradans out of their air conditioners during what they called an energy emergency. Contact Denver 7 broke the story, and since then we've had thousands of viewers reach out. Lisa Bledsoe says when her house got hot last Tuesday, she thought her AC was broken and paid a repairman $99, only to find out her AC was just fine. Xcel had shut it down that night with no notification. They said it's a part of a voluntary energy savings program she signed up for a decade ago.
And you need to be notified by the company. As the consumer. That's only fair. I would like them to give me my $99 back, because that's a lot of money for me.
Xcel tells Contact Denver 7 that during a high energy use day, they use as many of their voluntary programs as needed to help manage the grid. They also say this is something customers signed up for, are informed of, and can opt out of. But some customers tell us that's not true. We'll hear from them tonight on Denver 7 News at 6. Starting today, Ron Thomas is taking over as acting chief of Denver's police department. Mayor Hancock nominated him to lead the department on an interim basis. Current chief Paul Pazin announced his retirement last week. His last day will be on October 15th. Netherlands Board of Trustees will receive an update tonight on recruitment for its police department. The town's last full-time officer, its chief, will leave at the end of the month. The department normally employs, 6 officers on staff. In the meantime, the Boulder County Sheriff's Office will provide extra deputies to cover the staffing gaps. Also happening at the Board of Trustees meeting tonight, a proposal to help the Netherland Food Pantry meet the growing demand of the region. Right now, the pantry is housed in the community center where it's been for more than a decade. It normally serves between 12 and 15,000 people per year, but with the cost of groceries going up, pantry officials say the demand is growing and they need more space.
That's the thing of being in a small community. You know generations of families. You know them through their hardships, through their accomplishments, and being a small community, we all look out for each other and make sure that food is on the table.
The Pantry believes a new building would cost between $1.5 to $2 million. If the board approves the proposal, the next step would be to start raising that money.
The White House is pushing a COVID-19 booster campaign this month. Leaders announced today it includes groups like the National Parent-Teacher Association, National Hispanic Pastors Alliance, and Healthy Trucking of America. They are just some of those who will be holding vaccination clinics throughout September. Dr. Fauci saying today with the new shot formulation, we're moving toward only needing one COVID shot once a year. But more vulnerable groups may need a shot more often. The newsfeed starts with a drug that many hope could be an answer to ALS. Tomorrow there is a meeting with a FDA panel which has been skeptical about the findings of this specific drug. Members of Congress, though, have called on the FDA to approve it. Now, it is flu shot season, and doctors are saying today that children under 9 who have never had a flu shot should get 2 doses 1 month apart. This recommendation coming as doctors are bracing for what could be an active flu season. House calls used to be common when we needed a doctor, and now CVS is putting $8 billion into a plan to make it common again. A deal with Signify Health will use a network of doctors who can go to people's homes for care. Well, the next person who fills your prescription might not be a person at all. Walgreens recently opened its 4th micro-fulfillment center since last year. Prescriptions are filled at a warehouse using automation, then brought to the pharmacy for you to pick up.
This is really one way to use less inventory to achieve the same service level.
Ting-Long Dai is a professor of operations management. He says micro-fulfillment centers not only help ease supply chain issues, but also labor shortages. He says the pharmacy industry has been moving toward automation for a while, but COVID-19 accelerated it.
They have the infrastructure, and a lot of things have been digitalized in the past few decades. So it's really ripe for changes.
COVID-19 also has pharmacists doing other things beyond just filling prescriptions.
They are actually providing more services in terms of COVID-19 vaccination.
He says that this can free up pharmacists to do more things for you when you go to the pharmacy. Now, Walgreens says it currently fills about 20% of prescriptions at micro-fulfillment centers. It hopes to eventually get to half. Dai says that it is likely that more pharmacies will follow. A growing number of groups of women are pooling their small donations to make a big impact in their communities. They're doing it through what are known as giving circles. They say the model is getting to help nonprofits that might otherwise not get funding.
Plus, it's the final stretch before the midterm elections. Up next, we're taking a look at why Colorado's Senate race is beginning to attract national attention.